Hello and welcome to another episode from the Real Talk and Revenue podcast. We have myself, Francesca, the accountant, and we have Jordan, the therapist, and we bring real powerful conversations around building revenue, building confidence, how the mindset works, all different discussions around to help others in business and in their personal life. So listen in, tune in, let us know what you think, ask questions along the way and we'll be sure to answer them. Enjoy. Oh, does it feel weird, doesn't it? They would
I know.
hanging around on a bloody
Hanging
Monday.
around.
That's how it feels on a Monday. I'm like,
I know. My day's all weird today anyway though because I've got like later clients and
Monday's a busy one for you, isn't it?
yeah, it's just random. We're meant to have swimming at lunch as well. But well, George goes in, I just watch and then change Hallie. But she got up at 4 o'clock this morning.
What for?
To wake up.
No. I don't miss this.
4 a.m. So
What time did
George,
she get to bed the night before though?
last night she went to bed later than I thought she would, because again she was like messing around, like grizzling. She had a stomach ache. It was really bad. I think she went down about 8, which was later than she should have done because of like the busy day we had. She hadn't napped properly, even in the car, which is really weird for her. But anyway, George ended up getting up with her at 5 o'clock this morning.
Because he couldn't stand that she was not going back to sleep.
But she was just awake, like, and
Alert.
honestly, right, she's like nearly 14 months old, right, and eventually he got up with her, and he picked her up, but obviously put his dressing gown on to go downstairs. She went, yay!
With his dressing gown.
No,
With
she, like,
hers?
because he picked her up to go downstairs.
Oh, she said yeah. I thought you meant. She was like, yay, on his dressing gown.
She was like,
swinging.
yay! Like, because he'd picked her up and she knew she was going downstairs.
Oh, they're little monkeys.
But you can't help but laugh because she's so cute and funny as well.
It is, honestly, you're handling that really well.
It's just, what can you do? Like,
You can't.
It's not her fault, it's not our fault, like...
It's just one of these things.
It's what it is, like, it's a developmental thing, like, they're still not old enough to tell you exactly what's happening, like, if they've got an upset stomach, like, or if they're not feeling well, like...
Something tells me, though, with her going, yay.
It's amazing, though. Yeah, but she was awake, like, that's the problem, like, usually she'd, like, go back to sleep, like... It's like adult. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because obviously they're children and she's very small and stuff. But with babies, it's like someone saying to you right now, right, go sit. Obviously, as adults, you go to bed at any time. If you're not tired, you're not tired. Like, what are you meant to do?
I know, honestly.
Anyway, George is tired, really tired.
I can imagine 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
And I came down at like 8 in the end, expecting that she'd be napping by that point because she'd been awake for like 4 hours by then. And George just looked to the corner and I looked and she was there like just playing. I was like, oh my God.
Full of energy.
Yeah, so basically we didn't get to swimming because then at lunchtime she was just absolutely fast asleep then for a nap. And obviously I didn't want to wake her because she'd only been asleep 15 minutes then. I thought, I'm not waking her up, dragging her to swimming, like it's not right. So
just change your routine today.
yeah, so we just sat in the garden and had a cup of tea for a bit, had a chat. Yeah, while she was having a little nap. And then George made us some lunch.
Oh.
Yeah, had a cancellation. So...
Was it one of them cancellations that you're like, yippee! It's sunny!
Yes and no.
I know I do this and it's like, you want to do it because you've got to reschedule them anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's like, if it's on a Friday.
I know, and you're kind of like, oh, yes, that time.
Yeah, but at the same time you obviously want it and you have to go back to it. But there's some meetings I've had or put in and I'm like, please cancel on me.
Yeah, you get like that sometimes, don't you? But
I'm trying to expand I've had an amazing conversation with someone today.
Have you? What, like a prospective client? Or...
No. I'm in a weird, I think I've said this to you, in a weird space. But anyway, someone reached out to me on LinkedIn. I've had this quite a few times. I think it's really lovely if you can help others.
Yeah.
Asking to pick my brains on like my business and what.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to bring it up what he actually said before I start saying he said this because
it's really nice.
Yeah, it was a really nice message and it made me like look up a little bit. And I do think stuff like that comes back to you. if you do pay it forward sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Jamal Anderson. Let me have a look.
It's just a nice thing to do, isn't it?
It is, and I can see why a lot of people... Why can't I find him? Oh, God. After all that, I can't even get him up on my thing. Maybe I wrote his name wrong. Hang on. Bear with. Where's he come off? Oh, my signal's gone. I can't do it. So, did a really nice message. Can you spare some time?
Yeah.
Understand that you're busy, sort of thing. I was like, so I had a look at what he does, and he's a Commonwealth medalist, gold winner. But what I liked about him straight away, I thought, oh, he's in sport. And you know what I'm like with my high rocks, and I get inspired by people like that. And I thought, well, you know what? I can show him the business perspective.
Yeah.
That's basically the word. And then he might be able to help me with some of the other things, but I don't know. I just thought I'm going to say yes, and let's see what happens. So, long story short, got meeting him. Really nice guy.
Aww.
And he's originally from Nottingham, so it's not far.
Yeah.
Said I was inspiring. I was like, oh, okay, this is nice.
Yeah.
I don't. To me, he's inspiring because he's put so much effort into his sport to win medals. It's like, come on. And that's the sort of people I look up to anyway. Whether he's a basketball player. And I was like, oh, how tall are you? And he was like, probably thinking, what's she going on about? 6'7". I was like, bloody hell. And it was just a nice conversation, genuine guy. So I really enjoyed that, more than what I thought. And I'm hoping I gave him some knowledge bombs.
Yeah.
And I could be myself.
Yeah.
And he was himself, and we had a bit of a laugh and this, that, and the other. And it genuinely made me think, and it made me feel a bit nervous because it's someone new.
Yeah, definitely.
But I thought, I want to do more of that. And I shared with him some of like my inspirations, and he was like, oh, I might know somebody that knows somebody that can, you know. And I was like, oh my God, this is how networking
I know, it's
online.
just nice, like connecting with others, like you say, like sharing knowledge, and like sometimes gaining something back, sometimes not, but just like, I don't know, people always say, don't they, like give more than you get sort of thing in that sense, and you get something from that, and it creates like really nice interactions and connections with other people, I think. Yeah. Like 100%. Sometimes you don't, like, it doesn't come of anything. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it's just a nice conversation, and like that's okay, isn't it?
It is, and you never know where it will lead.
No.
Like, I've had people say they followed me for years before they've worked with us.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 years, one person. I was like, that's the sales funnel.
Yeah, it
online
is.
sales funnel.
It is, yeah.
And he was asking about a podcast, and he actually recognised the podcast on my call.
Yeah.
He was, and I thought, oh, right, okay, so you've seen some of that, and why do you do it? And did I tell you that I spoke about our podcast at a speaking event?
I don't think so.
So basically, not many accountants do them.
Yeah.
One guy was called Ask the Accountant, which I think is a brilliant name.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me about that. I remember you saying about that.
And I said out loud to the crowd that was listening that you've got to enjoy it, which makes it a lot easier for us to get together. We were kind of doing it anyway.
It's like we came in with an agenda of like, it needs to create this and that for us. Like, we just thought, we have some good conversations. Let's do a podcast on it.
I know. And June actually...
people will feel the same.
And they do.
Yeah.
I've had messages.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, did I say that? But I don't worry about that as much now.
No.
But I love... Most people want to do things because it makes them money. Straight away, sorry.
Yeah, like it has to generate something immediately. And this is where like a lot of people go wrong in business as well. Like, it's like, I'm going to set up and I want it to be a success.
Yes.
Like straight away, and it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, like we all want that. We all want to be able to like make enough money to sustain ourselves and stuff. But it's almost like people are so throwaway about things. Even like influencers and stuff like that. You want to do a post and go viral, and it's like it's not really how like most things work. It's about just like nurturing an audience, like nurturing your business to create into something that works for you and also like provides for others, like whatever it is you're doing, selling like services, products, whatever.
So true, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like I've been like that in the past where I'm like, oh, you know, not necessarily with my business, maybe some bits, but like I don't know, just like in my younger years, like I want it now, I'm not bothered, or like I don't know, just wanting everything immediately and just not having patience, I suppose, or like seeing the benefit in like the process of something, or like a longer term goal in some ways. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
it's so true, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it just does. It kind of sets you up to fail because you've not got that patience, like, and to like have a bit more of like a vision, isn't it?
And people do things for the wrong reasons at times.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
what others tell them to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell them to do, sorry, not tell them
yeah,
to say.
rather than doing something you're actually like passionate or like care about.
Yeah, I listened to another podcast this morning with Chris Williamson. Anyway, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Other people may have listened to him. And he actually moved to fame in the first Love Island that came out.
Right, okay.
But straight away, he was the odd one out. He stuck out like a sore thumb because he was very normal.
Right.
Not normal. Maybe come across a bit boring because he was normal and a bit like more business head.
Yeah, that's not really generally what gets on those kind of shows because it's about like the drama and...
He's a very deep talker, very good with his mindset. His Instagram's done well. He's done really well on his podcast, and I don't even think that Love Island helped him with any of those things, but who knows?
Yeah.
He's great. And what did he say? Oh, I can't remember where I was going with this. Listen to something that was said about a guy that he interviews, who's obviously successful, to share their business journey, and he said. You know what? I can't think straight. I feel like my hormones are all over
Too
the
late
place.
in the day as well.
What the friggin' hell am I getting? Oh yeah. You need the passion to drive something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have the passion?
I think that's what does make a difference because obviously like some people are in a job, we spoke about this before, like you're in a job and it's like a means to an end, but like you're happy with that. Like there are genuinely people that operate like that. Like maybe there are people as well who have a business that they're not that passionate about, but it's just taken off and it's worked well, or they've inherited a family business or whatever it might be.
Oh, that's so interesting you said about that.
Do you know what I mean though?
Yeah,
but
it's
actually
landed on their laps, but they're not necessarily wanting it.
No.
But it pays well and...
Yeah, and people are then scared to like take a risk into something that there might not, it's not a sure thing. When you have a sure thing and something isn't a sure thing, when you've got certainty and you're moving into uncertainty, like generally as humans we don't like that too much. And when there are things at stake and like you've got families or bills, which all of us do, it can be hard, but I think for like you and like me, what's worse is like living an unfulfilled and like inauthentic life. Like that for me is just like
disgusting.
I don't want to entertain that. Like,
what do you think people live?
Of course they do. Like, like look at people in relationships.
I know, and when you saying this, and because I assume everyone's them because I am.
No.
So I assume, I know they're not. Now, you know when you say it like that.
And I would say like more often than not, that's the case.
And I think I was before that, but trying to be something I wasn't. Yeah,
I think most people have experienced that. Like, I'd love to meet people that have always been themselves and like comfortable in their own skin. Like, I'm sure there are people out there also that fit that kind of description.
You know what I'm going to do now, right? Because I'm so me.
Yeah.
Right. And that sounds. This is. Oh my god! I'll go home later because I've been so busy after the call. I'll be like, oh, why did I say that to him? And why did I say it like that?
Yeah.
Was I too open?
Yeah. And
I
again,
do that a lot.
Yeah, and that's again like questioning, isn't it? Like what's acceptable and what's not. But I think that again comes back down to like confidence, doesn't it? And like just being confident that like,
okay.
What if you weren't? Like, what if he didn't think you were, or whatever? Like,
9 out of 10. Well,
does it matter?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. As long as you're like coming through as you, like you're being yourself, you're being genuine. What does it matter? Like, we're going to be acceptable to some people and not to others. Like, that's something that we've spoken about a lot.
I say that all the time.
Like, social media, but yeah,
but then I forget again.
We'll worry. We do forget, and I think as well, if we're faced with particular people that make us feel uneasy, like for example like people that we might see as like more successful than us in some way or another, or people that we feel might have more authority or status, that can be quite activating and destabilizing for people that have been working on their confidence. And
so if someone came to you that was like an elite athlete, well known, and they went, Jordan, help me out, blah blah blah, you'd shit yourself.
I might do. I don't.
But you'd still do it and do a good job of it.
Yeah.
But internally you belong, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's normal, isn't it? Because I think like this. I remember having a chat with a celeb to do their accounts.
Yeah.
Nearly ruined me.
Yeah, and again, what's that about? Because at the end of the day, like, there's still a person and a human that need service.
Yeah, but I'll still go back for more.
Yeah,
don't put me off.
No,
but
no,
what
no.
is that about? It's that, isn't it? Seeing them as better than you.
Yeah, it is. Like, see, like, placing more value on that person. Again, which is not really very nice or fair, is it? Because it's like, well, I'm threatened by you because you seem like more successful or more safe than this client of mine because of these reasons.
Everyone knows who you are. Well,
it's that, and I suppose it's just the value that we assign to the person or the situation. So it's like, what do we feel is at stake? Like, if they don't think we're very good, does their opinion have more credibility? Might they talk to more people, and might that feel more risky? Do you know what I mean? Or dangerous?
Yeah.
Like, not dangerous, but yeah, is there more of a threat there for some reason because they're in the public eye, or they have more of a voice, or, you know, if they say something, it holds more weight because people will listen. It often boils down to that sort of thing, like, how much value do we place in that situation? And again, we might feel the same way if we're providing a service to a friend or a family member, for whatever reason, because you might think like, oh, they're really close to me, so like, I don't want to let them down. Or...
So true. Can I just take this and say to ring me back?
Yeah.
Hello? Can you ring back in about 25 minutes? Cheers, bye. Sorry.
Is that still your car stuff?
Yeah, that's why I had to answer it. And the fact that it rang again, I was like, oh, God. Basically, yeah, have I said it already?
About the electric car?
Yeah, I've said it online, haven't I? I told everyone about bloody electric cars.
We spoke about it before, about your holiday and the drama.
Yeah, love a drama, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I think a lot of people around certain people will feel like we've just said.
And it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, who you might feel a bit nervous around, I might not, and vice versa. And it's different for so many different people.
Yeah, because I find if I saw... So I love Joe Wicks.
I really like him as well.
We've spoken about him.
But again, why do we like him? Because he comes across as genuine, like, he's open and vulnerable and honest about his story and progress. He had a vision and he executed it without compromising or giving up. Or he's just got some good values.
So if he turned around and just so I met him and we had a good like chat and whatever, I think, I don't know, it'd be someone that I'd worry, if he turned around, let's be friends now, it'd be weird for me internally, because I'm like, oh my God, I'll get used to it. Yeah,
and again, maybe it's just thinking then when you were talking, like, if we respect somebody or we hold a high opinion of them for some reason, often that can be what makes us want to...
Not be the best you can be for them.
Yeah, not let someone down. Or again, like, perhaps like have that reciprocated, like, we want them to think well of us as well.
Isn't that exhausting though, for, you know, when you're in a...
It's exhausting if you are always amending yourself to fit other people's expectations of you, and that's where actually if you just are yourself consistently and take the standpoint of like, do you know, people will like me for who I am and for being honest, and if they don't, then that's okay. Also, that is confidence building, because it allows you to see that people will accept you and approve of you and like you for who you are, and you will have just people around you that like you for who you are. And when there are people that maybe don't, that's okay, like, they're not your person. We talk about this in business, don't we? Like, not every client is going to be for you, and that's a good thing. Yeah. Because you can't be everyone's accountant.
Yeah, like, I want to be.
Yeah, but you can't be.
Someone in the team might be, though.
Maybe. But do you
I know what
you're
saying. I do
like,
know what you're saying.
Like, there's too many businesses nationally in the UK for you. So, like, it's fine. Like, we're talking to people that are going to, like, match our vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's not for everyone. That's okay. That's how it should be.
Yeah, really interesting. It's when that reality hits and like everyone's going to like you, no matter what your background is.
Yeah.
Even if you celebrity or whatever, done this or done...
Well, look at celebrities getting trolled all the time. Like, there is a case of like, we are going to be judged no matter what we do, and there are people out there that like again, if we go back to the example of like relationships, we've all been in a situation where we really want somebody to like us, like whether it be relationship, friendship. So we're trying to like do what we think they want us to do. And there are some people out there that it doesn't matter what we do, like they're still not going to approve of us. Do you know what I mean? Because of whatever's going on for them.
Do you think it's their internal?
It can be.
It dislikes so many people.
It can be, and sometimes it's not about dislike, but it's about only valuing certain types of people.
Yeah, and then going, don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It doesn't mean I don't like them.
Yeah.
They're not for me.
Yeah, exactly. Or
soften it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it. And like I feel like I'm probably more comfortable with that concept than I ever have been in my life. And especially in business, like I like to have conversations, and to me, like it's absolutely fine if you don't come back to me, because if you don't, then you might go and find a therapist that suits you better. If a client comes to me and the vibe's off, like I'll know, they'll know. And if they do end up working with me, I think I mentioned this before, like that only really has happened in the NHS or in insurance companies, and actually not very often, to be honest with you. But if it does, like it's just not serving either of us very well, because I'm not going to enjoy that work. You're probably not going to benefit from it as much as you could. So let's just make sure that we're on the right page. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you get clients, and like we've spoken about this before, that like want you to do things this way and that way, and it becomes like an absolute chore and a pain, and you're like, you know, I know like there are people out there when it comes to accountancy as well, like they want to tax evade and this and that, and it just becomes really problematic. It doesn't serve them, it's short-sighted, it's narrow-minded. You don't want to work with people like that.
No, because
do you know what I mean? It's painful.
It's so painful. And other accountancy firms will put in a question group of accountants.
Yeah.
I've had this client, I've had this, what should I do? I don't make any money off them anyway.
Yeah.
Why do you think people put up with that rubbish?
Again, like fear of negative appraisal and judgment, fear of somebody that they probably don't even really respect turning around and saying like, you're shit. That's often what we all fear. But again, like one of the things I always say, like I have to remind myself of, and I say it to clients all the time, is like, don't take criticism from people that you wouldn't take advice from.
I love it.
Because often we do. I've probably said this before on the podcast, but often we take criticism from anybody and we'll only ask advice from very few people. So how come it's okay for us to accept criticism from anyone, like a troll online even, you know, but we're more selective about people we take advice from. And it's not to say that you're not open to feedback. What it is to say is like, you can't let like comments from everyone rattle your confidence and like accept it on face value all the time. It's okay to be like, okay, like I'll think about that. Who's it come from? Where are they coming from when they're saying that? Are they attacking me because I'm not doing what they want me to do? Like in this example, like, okay, they want to tax evade and I'm not willing to let them claim this, that and the other, or I'm, you know, just saying like, that's not how it works. Like, okay, so then they're like, right, that's it, I'm leaving you because you're not doing what I want you to do. Do we then feel offended by that, or do we go, okay, I accept that because we're not willing to move the benchmark, you know, like facilitate fraud, or amend our values to suit what you want us to do. And that's really what it boils down to, isn't it? Like staying true to your core values and holding those boundaries. Like in other situations, of course, we'll be flexible and we'll accommodate. We can work a bit differently with people.
Exactly. It's just about open.
But not when it comes to like daft things, unrealistic expectations, unreasonable expectations. You know, there are often people out there, aren't there, that want to, you know, cut your price in half or whatever it is when it comes to sales and stuff, and it's like, not
Don't
willing
see
to
the
do
val-
that. Don't work like that. And if you want me to do that, like you say, you don't see the value in it, and we're probably, you know, we're not going to work very well together.
I know, and people have this massive fear of like not increasing price, not getting rid of pain in the arse customers, or stopping payment on the ones that aren't paying you, or stopping work on the ones that are not paying you, and you're only hurting yourself.
100%. But again,
So
like
true.
you've got to have a level of like confidence, or you've got to be willing to like feel a bit fearful of being disliked in order to like put that boundary in place, because it is essential.
If someone said to me, like, oh no, I can't let them go, and I'll be like, do you believe you can get more work? Well, yeah. Do you believe in your business? Well, yeah. Prove it then.
Yeah.
Because if you let them go,
yeah,
you'll definitely get more, won't you?
Yeah. That's what I always say to you as well, isn't it? Like,
You'll get more will come along.
Yeah, and more aligned clients as well. Like people who really want to work with you and trust that you're going to do the best job for them without being like, oh, I don't know, shouldn't you be doing this? Or actually, I need you to save me this and that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, if you're employing me, like, to a degree, like, trust that I'm going to do a good job for you and I'm going to give you some good advice. You can ask questions, obviously, to understand things, but do you know what I mean? Not try and, like, dictate and control how then you're going to provide that service.
I've been questioned before from other potential prospects what their accountant's doing. Is this right? Should they be doing this? I'm like, why are you asking me?
Yeah.
I'd be worried if someone's asking about us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. But they do, don't they? And they like check in. But that means that with a bad accountant, but because they're so cheap, they're like, oh, I'll stay with them. Yeah. But anyway, we're going off track from God knows where we're going with it. But yeah, well, what was we saying about phone?
I can't remember.
Oh no, I mean,
it's been like worried about negative appraisal.
Yeah, and talking, expanding my horizons. I'm working with the AAT this week, so I'm in London for the day, which, you know me and travel, it exhausts me.
I know.
And being in a room in not a strict environment, that's wrong, but being in a confined space, dedicated times. Yes. I do struggle with that. I do it.
It's all of those things that often lead us to setting up our own businesses and self-employment. Not having the constraints of an employed role. It's the flexibility that we're drawn to, isn't it? Yeah. So I can totally understand why it's kind of like, it's a bit of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of that, but you know what?
It's chosen it.
It's rewarding. I'm around great people.
And it's not all the time. It's
not
day
all
in,
the
day
time.
Out.
I get to do this. Yeah. I get to help an amazing charity, qualified with them. So I do remind myself of those things. But obviously boardroom, and it's not a boardroom, I'm bloody exaggerating it here, but it's just amazing. But I have to remind myself of those things a lot because the overwhelm. Yeah. And it's something new and different, and I know everyone there will be feeling the same in different ways.
Yeah, that's it, isn't together. It? Exactly.
So yeah, that's my thing. And then I've been sorting out a presentation this morning for Accountex, so I'm speaking, and it's interesting because what the trend is in accounting is to not build a practice, to build a business, and my talk is on that. Right. So the news trend. So I've been looking into it, and your business is. Like obviously an accountancy business is more valuable as a business rather than a partner-led model, traditional model. Okay. So in old traditional accountancy firms, there's partners. Right. That are the directors. Yeah, got you. But what I've stepped away from is I'm the partner and you sue me at the end. It's not necessarily true. I'm building a business model which is going to be so much more valuable to clients than the old-fashioned way where you have to wait till your accountant to have that one conversation a year, where we're not doing that. We're having advisory throughout the year to help bring out the best. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about how I've kind of set that up, even though it's madness because I've only been doing it 6 years. Yeah. So well, it's not only though, is it? Well, it is, but it feels like I'm still, because I've revamped everything. Yeah. And I should. Yeah. I'll probably revamp in another 4 years for 10-year mark or 15 or whatever. So I was writing it out, I was thinking, right, and Steve was helping me, what should we put here, and I was like, bloody hell, is this happening? It's that thing where I told you, I think we said it last week, where I want it, I get it, and I'm like, change my mind, I don't want it. Yeah. And I know other people do this, I know it's normal, but and rather than fearful of that, I don't want to do it. Yeah. Remind yourself, that's not the reality, because it's not. You'll just regret it if you pull out of anything that scares you. Yeah. It's so it is. Our brains are just wild, really. I know. Did you get anybody on your retreat? I was going to ask you about it. No. Okay. What's the plan? Yes. Right. So basically, obviously, I'm co-hosting it. It was due to go ahead on the 13th of May. Yep. Right. So, Leslie had been on holiday. So this is tomorrow. What? According to the podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Leslie had been on holiday, and she got back last week, and basically she came back and said that she would feel a lot more comfortable if we didn't run Maze at this stage.
Yeah.
And how would I feel about that? So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's really gutting.
Oh, I thought you'd be like a relief.
No, not really, because I thought, there was a part of me that thought, do you know what, I still think there's time, but that's very much me, like down to the wire.
Yeah.
But then I like had a think about it, and I thought, is it because I don't want to have to say, oh, we're not running Maze because we didn't have any interest? Do you know what I mean? And maybe like backtrack on social media. So I had to think about it, and I thought, okay, like there's a lot of argument for that, and to stop and then load July and September instead, and reevaluate our marketing strategy, because we were late to the game as well, and kind of sorting that out and getting going with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine with me. It also meant we could cancel the venue and not lose too much money as well. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then we decided, but the day that we decided to do that on the Friday, we didn't realise that someone then booked when we were having these discussions. That's funny, isn't it? It is. But they are the only single person that booked for that date so far. So we've just had to ask them if they would mind moving to the July date.
And they don't?
We don't know yet.
Right.
But if not, then ultimately we'll have to refund them. Yeah, but it's so funny, isn't it? Like, that happens as we're having that conversation.
So, hindsight's a great thing.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
You was going to go to the bitter end and do it anyway.
Yeah, well, I wanted to. I really just wanted to run it so we could demonstrate the value of it to a small group of people, so they could see that for themselves, experience it, get some feedback, get some content. But that's fine. So I said to Leslie, like, okay, let's cancel the May date then, work on our like marketing strategy, trying to grow our email list, consistently post, have conversations with people. We already had more interest for July and September anyway.
It might be the May month.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. It's a weird month, May.
So that's positive. So basically now we're going to ask if we can visit the Perusia, the venue, anyway on that day. Leslie's already been and run something there to get some video content, some pictures of us and stuff like that. And we're going to work on offering some free stuff like webinars, things like that, Q&As for people to ask questions if anyone might be on the fence. So
I'm so pleased someone booked on, because it's not a cheap day.
No.
It's a valuable, it's going to get loads from it. But it's a commitment.
I also don't think it's an expensive day either.
No, it's not, but it's a commitment.
Yeah.
And they committed
a
full day,
which
could be a holiday at work, I don't know.
Yeah, potentially.
And the amount of it costing.
Yeah, £350.
What I was going to say is...
We've had bookings for July, so if hopefully this person is happy to move to July, like we'll see. Yeah. And then that'll be like spaces really filling up for July.
Yeah.
With more interest for July and September. So so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that's disappointing because it's not what we'd hoped.
But the mission's still going ahead.
Yeah, but
You're
it's
adapting.
It is, and again, it's that sense of like not giving up, being like, oh, it's not going to work. It's
It's
being
so
like,
easy
okay,
to say, well, no one's booked on, let's cancel.
Yeah, and it's hard
them all.
Because I think as well, like, I think you said this before and other people said it, like, so many people, like, show up online and they'd be like, spaces are booking up for May, like, get your ticket now. And obviously that's appealing to people's sense of urgency. Or, like, not mentioning that it isn't actually going well and that sometimes marketing is a challenge, like, especially in certain industries.
Fair play to you for actually sharing this.
Well, because I think it's important to just be honest and real and be like, like, we're cancelling that. Hopefully July and September will go better. But also part of what I want to do, and Roseka, who helps me with social media, she was saying, like, are you up for sharing some behind the scenes stuff of like planning? And I'm like, yeah. Because
even doing the behind the scenes of coming to do a day in the life of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Coming here, arriving here on a Thursday, then going back to do your class or your baby group, and then you might have a client or a week in the life or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I love stuff like that. I love
making
content.
the time.
Some people don't want to know. Like, that's fine. It is. It's like the logistics of making sure you're filming and then editing things together and stuff. But
sense of urgency sells though.
It can do, and I totally get that.
Yeah, it's that hype. It's that
but
you're missing out.
I think that's the part of me as well that wanted to run it to like down to the bone, because there will be an audience that will want to book on last minute.
Why didn't you say then, do you think, to Leslie at the time?
Because I also understand it from the other point of view.
Yeah.
And as I say, I thought, is it the part of me that doesn't want to give up that's driving it?
It's questioning yourself, isn't it? When I still think now, even talking about it, I think a big part of you wishes you'd just gone, let's work to the bone.
Yeah, there's part of me that does, and there's part of me that is also okay with like stepping back and being like, okay, let's let this one go,
reassess
and
it
focus our full efforts on July and September.
I can't believe that.
Try and get the marketing strategy not right, but just like better, improve it.
Yeah.
And part of what Leslie said as well is that she's had a couple of holidays because she's had a really big birthday, so she was like, I regret that I've not been around as much as I wanted to
put
be.
the effort in.
Yeah.
It is all about effort. And you can easily look back now and go, actually, we both started off a bit slow. Leslie had holidays.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of do that, because you can't just go, we'll just do July and then do the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. So
no
know then, don't you? You set off a bit differently. You got some ideas.
Yeah.
Leslie's already suggested we have a conversation with somebody else that might be able to help us with ideas and a bit of like a sales funnel, or just like a bit of strategy.
You know what I'm going to say? It's standing out and being bold with something.
Yeah.
And it's that a bit more aggressive with it maybe, and that enticement of they are going to sell quick. This is like one of the best, and all that.
And that is also probably truer for July and September because of the interest. So it's gaining momentum, isn't it? But I think as well, I think as well for us, it's like feeling confident in showing up and talking about it.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
In different spaces. Like, holding space and taking up space can feel uncomfortable as women, 100%. As, people who are new to offering this type of service, as therapists, where it feels very icky to sell. Like,
doors is so glad we're saying this, because so many people. But then I think, get over yourself.
You've got to.
You've got to get over yourself, because who cares?
Yeah, and it's not about like, making over-promising and under-delivering or anything like
Even
that.
though it can feel like that.
Yeah, it can do.
Yeah, it feels really
But I think, again, that's imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
and again, it's just like having the confidence to be like, this is who it's for, this is why it can make a difference. Like, if this sounds like it would be helpful to you, come and have a conversation.
Exactly. And I know yours and Leslie's character. You're not going to just turn up and go, we'll tell you a little bit about it and we don't know our stuff. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
You're more than capable. But I 100% get what you're saying. But people do need to get over themselves and give it a go. Even I need to hear this myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone else will. Someone else will come up with this thing, what is it called? EMDR. And do a retreat right down the road.
Yeah.
And then you might be like, why don't we just book it and do it? And so July and September have got to happen no matter what.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And maybe get a bit more ballsy with some approaches with it. But that ain't going to be easy, because the field you're in, I'm like, bloody hell, it's hard.
It is hard, yeah.
But then I would have said this, if someone said to me 10 years ago, with accountancy, you need to be in your car talking about the networking event you're going to, rather than tax tips. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Whereas I like to shake the norm, and what does sell is when you say what you've come through.
And
the bit of background and how it's helped develop so I can say, we do cash flow forecasting in my business. This is how we've hired a team because I've done the things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's really difficult in therapy.
Well, it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like when you're saying that I've got experience of EMDR, I've had problems and anxiety, and it's helped with this. Yeah, again, you are being vulnerable and putting yourself out there for like judgment, criticism. Yeah. But also, again, to help other people do the same. And I think that's why you have like passion and drive, often because you've experienced something
that's given you,
and then you've found something that's really helped, so you're like, I really want to share this because it's helped me, it's helped so many of my clients, so like it can help you as well.
It's so true. And people want to, there's a lot of coaches and a lot of therapists that probably never struggled
Yeah.
No background history.
Yeah.
Probably like coaches that not everyone's done their own business. I'm like, okay. But they've got a method and a theory that in theory should work.
Yeah. And I guess that's okay if you've found that to offer with clients. Like, you know, you can't knock people for not having like trauma and stuff like that. But it definitely does just bring in like a real understanding when you've like been through things and experienced things yourself, I think.
Well, I think with Steve doing the Hierarchs plans, and I was like, why don't we do the Hierarchs plan as part of our journey? Sort of thing. Oh, journey, I hate that word.
Yeah.
But then he's been injured, but then still doing the plans, but not actually doing it himself.
Yeah.
Somewhere you look at that and go, well, you've not been on the podium.
Yeah.
You've not done.
Yeah.
But actually, his methods will still work.
Absolutely.
And we're genuine and we're trying and we're doing them and then we are improving.
Well, it's like people that coach like athletes and stuff like that, you know, like mindset work and things like that. They've probably not been, you know, like, you know, yeah, they've probably not done any of it, but they know like how the mind works and they've like specialised in that area. So, do you know what I mean? But there's just weight in sharing, you know, like your personal experience of things as well.
And that is hard. And I remember just sharing online, hats off to anybody that's got a big following that keep consistent with it.
Yeah.
And then
not even a big following, like I think to share online anyway.
Yeah.
Like when potentially anybody could see it and follow, like it, in a way it doesn't matter, like, do you know what I mean, 50,000 or 500, like still put yourself out there. But I know what you mean, like it probably feels scarier the bigger you get, like, because you see that with celebrities, like, you know, there's more people then that are just waiting to tear you apart, and troll you.
It's so true.
There's always more people that are admiring you and complimenting. You see that online.
They just don't tell you that.
But they do. Like, you see that. Look at people like Molly May and even like Joe Wicks. You know what I mean? You'll see a troll comment. Yeah. And then you'll see like 100 more comments that are like,
great. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I have another thing that when people say, oh, how do you grow a following? And I'm stuck at 500 followers or 1,000, just can't get it. Don't keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you changing are you being courageous in your posts? Are you commenting and liking and sharing other people's?
And again, like doing something different doesn't mean then like changing your whole personality.
Nope.
It might mean, oh, I've only been doing like carousels with tips on. Maybe I'll do a video now, sharing different things. Maybe I'll share a bit on stories. Like, I always think, like, what do I like to see and consume? Yeah, that's the sort of thing I like to push out. And then for other people, it might be different, you know?
Yeah, and if you're not feeling uncomfortable with it, it's not good enough. And that's really harsh, me again, isn't it? Yeah. You need to be feeling a bit fluttery in your belly and a bit like, oh, should I post it?
I think there's definitely something to that, isn't there, in terms of, again, just like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and allowing yourself the opportunity to like make a mistake.
Yes.
Do something that maybe does fall flat. So then you're like, okay, I know that doesn't work well, this does. Yeah. And when you look at like Instagram strategy and stuff like that, people, it tells you like, look at the times that your posts best perform, look at the reels that have performed best for you, like what kind of content are you sharing, what are you doing, and it does help inform you if that's the way you want to do it, you know.
I think we've never done the whole dedication, I can't speak, dedicated, I think we should do that for next week, a whole dedication on social media and a bit of strategy from my side because I've done it. Yeah. And maybe you can talk about some of your best performing posts.
Yes, I can have a look. Especially as it's something as well that I'm now actually taking seriously. I've seen it.
Yeah, so if you want to follow JM Talking Therapy, just have a little look because you are now putting more effort into the
and I've
posts.
got help with that. Like, it isn't just me because I recognise, and do you remember I used to say it all the time, like struggling to be consistent because it's not something that I've learned and stuff like that. So again, it's something that has been really helpful to outsource, and I've been working with Francesca, who's doing my posts. Yeah. To like, I've been like, and I'll send her accounts. I really like this and that, and I'm learning as well. Like, again, what I like to see, what I don't like, what I prefer my post to look like, what I don't. And
exactly. Quite. But I would also say, even if we talk about next week, if you want me or Jordan or just both of us to look at your handle for social media, so whether it's Instagram handle, and offer advice, because I can pick things apart. Send it through and we'll do it on the following episode and we'll talk. And if you don't mind us sharing the name of your social media, and we can do shout outs.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start bringing that in.
Yeah.
But anyway, as always, thanks for tuning in. See you next week. So we talk about social media.
Bye.
Bye.